It's the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 22, and it reads, "And I will overthrow the throne of the kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and the riders shall come down, everyone by the sword of his brother."
Breaking news overnight. 3 Americans killed fighting the wildfires in Australia. Their air tanker crashing. James Longman starts us off with the very latest. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. This was a devastating accident. 3 US firemen going down in their plane in what's being described as a fireball. They were in Australia tackling those ongoing bush fires. And this morning, we're hearing a chilling call for help. Overnight, as the fires continue to blaze through this country, a harrowing call to emergency dispatch.
Fire comms, message read. Okay, Captain, message read. Crashed, huh? Yeah, fire comms, it's just a ball of flames. Over.
3 American firefighters dead after their water-bombing plane crashed.
Our deepest condolences to those families who've been impacted. And today is a stark and horrible reminder of the dangerous conditions.
The Americans were in Australia to help fight the fires near New South Wales, where more than 3,000 homes have been destroyed and 28 people have died. Flames spreading to the nation's capital in Canberra overnight, thick columns of smoke rising above the airport, forcing parts of it to shut down and stranding residents in nearby neighbourhoods.
It was very, very smoky up there.
No, sir.
And my grandson lives in Oaks Estate and he's just been told it's too late to leave.
America has already sent 200 people to help fight these flames. Remember, we're only halfway through the summer. Scorching temperatures are going to continue, so the United States will be sending more people to help fight these bushfires.
Yeah, it's such a terrible situation. Okay, James, thanks very much.
Yeah, so this is the judgment of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? Prophecies are speeding up, man. The Most High is a consuming fire, man. This is how he visiting the earth, man. The scriptures tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It has been an awful summer in Australia with extreme weather and terrible consequences. Thunderstorms and hail have been pelting eastern sections of the country, but strong winds have also created dust storms. Drought conditions and the bushfires remain a serious problem. This fire season is hardly over. Miles O'Brien has been reporting from there for our regular coverage on the leading edge of science and for the weather app My Radar.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 24, and it reads, "For the Lord Yahweh thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God." So the Most High is a consuming fire, man. You know, if you don't follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, then the Most High get jealous. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a jealous God. That's why he put different acts of nature throughout the world, you know what I'm saying, to judge the world, you know?
The bunker gear is hung and dry at the Bairnsdale Fire Department in East Gippsland, Australia. For now, the calm after the firestorm 10 days earlier. Captain Aaron Lee, his 12-year-old son Ryan in tow, took me to the spot in nearby Sarsfield, where they waited and watched the flames approach.
We had a lot of vehicles parked here the 1st December as like a first rally point. Fire was putting up a fair bit of smoke straight out ahead of us. So
you're looking at the fire, we're pointed to
we're basically looking at the fire, yeah. So.
Nearby, the fire is still smoldering in a peat bog. When it roared in, it took 20 homes. But Lee and his brigade, all volunteers who left their own families and homes behind, worked tirelessly, saving countless others while constantly facing instant decisions on where to take a stand.
I think you have to protect the assets where possible with what resources you've got. And sometimes assets aren't defendable. We literally have to go, well, sorry, we can't defend that because it's too risky for us. So.
At the command post, firefighters still have their hands full, coordinating the fight against uncontained wildfires covering a huge swath of southeast Australia. Across the country so far this fire season, more than 24 million acres have burned, killing 24, destroying 2,000 homes.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6, and it reads, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So now the Most High is carrying out his acts, you know what I'm saying, against nature, man. Wildfires, earthquakes, you know what I'm saying. It was just two earthquakes that hit Puerto Rico, man. You had an earthquake that hit New York. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah spoke about these times, and we are definitely living in the times, man, because these prophecies are steady speeding up.
Fires have also taken a terrible toll on wildlife, injuring and killing millions of the unique species that live on this island continent. Brett Mitchell is the incident commander here.
We've all been fighting these fires since November, so fatigue is a real issue we have to manage. We do have teams coming in from Canada and the United States to give us a bit of relief, which is great. I really appreciate that assistance. But we can also get new starts as well, so lightning can start new fires as well. So we're not only dealing with these particular fires, but quite often, given we're in January, we can get over 100 new fires start.
The unprecedented fires come amid record drought and heat. Farmer John White is the mayor of the Shire of East Gippsland.
It's been extraordinary, and people who have known the bush all their life have just described the fire behaviour as something they've never seen before. I think in terms of area, it's possibly burnt close to 60% of our area.
Mayor White is grateful his fellow countrymen have rallied to help farmers like him in this time of great need. On Saturday, a convoy of trucks carrying hay rolled into town with a police escort to speed the way. Besides agriculture, the area depends heavily on tourism. But with the fires looming, authorities were forced to evacuate 30,000 people enjoying the Christmas summer holiday.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, "But the day of the Lord Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." So, you know what I'm saying, the elements is going to melt with fervent heat, man. And you see a prelude to what the Lord is doing to Australia, man. You know what I'm saying, and what he did to different parts of the United States with the wildfires in California. This is the Most High, man. This is a prep to when the Lord destroyed things on the high level. You know what I'm saying?
Businesses on Main Street are hurting, but it's too soon to invite the tourists back.
It's difficult to say we're in recovery while we still have a fire that could bust out anywhere over the next 6 weeks and actually cause similar devastation where it's not burnt now.
Fire has always been a part of the landscape here in Australia.
Yeah,
but this year, it's different.
It's the Most
Yeah,
High,
the
man.
fire season of 2019 in Australia is really a perfect storm of climate events, to be honest with you.
Lyndon Ashcroft is a historical climatologist at the University of Melbourne. She says a stronger than normal shifting ocean current called the Indian Ocean Dipole is at play. Like El Nino in the Pacific, the dipole changes winds and sea surface temperatures. This year, it has blown warmer water toward Africa, allowing colder water to surface near Australia. The colder air there contains less moisture and fewer clouds, creating drought conditions. Meanwhile, the air above Antarctica became unusually warm, which triggers windier conditions for Australia. And all of this happens as the climate steadily warms.
We had tinder dry forests, we had really strong winds, we had a temperature or a climate that's a degree warmer than it was 60 years ago. And all of those things combined just made it exactly right for a devastating bushfire season.
And it might be exactly right to change the public discourse on climate change here. Australia...
See what Esau doing, they trying to rebuild what was destroyed, you know what I'm saying? So let's get this. It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4, and it reads, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness." So, you know what I'm saying? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? That's Esau. Esau is running the earth right now. You know what I'm saying? So whenever something be destroyed, rather they did it, the Edomites, you know what I'm saying, did it, or the Most High did it, you know what I'm saying? These Edomites, they want to return and build the desolate places thereof. This is the characteristics of Esau.
It generates 80% of its electricity with coal and gas. It is the world's third largest exporter of fossil fuels. The country's Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, has a long history of skepticism and denial of climate science. But with the fires raging, he is now saying he hopes to evolve climate change policy. Amanda McKenzie is a leading advocate for action on climate change in Australia.
I think the fires have changed everything. We don't know just how much that has impacted people yet, but the trauma will go on for some time, and I think it will fundamentally change how Australians look at the issue of climate change, but it also how we look at the federal government.
Here in Southeast Australia, it is impossible to ignore the crisis at their front door. And while there is some evidence opinions may in fact be changing,
So with that, I hope this video was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The connection went out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but, with that, Shalom.